All right, today we're cracking open the mental toolkit of the world's best performers. We're going to dive into the exact sports psychology techniques they use to master pressure and really achieve greatness. And the best part, we'll show you how you can use them too.
So let me ask you this. Have you ever been in a big moment, maybe a huge game, a job interview, or even just an important conversation, and it feels like your own brain just turns against you? That feeling, choking right when it counts? It happens to everyone. And today we're going to figure out how to beat it. The real secret that separates the good from the truly great, it's not always physical talent. So often it comes down to mental strength. The best of the best train their minds just as hard as they train their bodies. So let's break down 3 key tools you can start using to build your own mental toolkit. Okay, our first tool, it sounds a little like something out of a sci-fi movie, but it is absolutely backed by real science. It's all about winning the game before you even start playing. This is the power of mental rehearsal, or what a lot of people call visualization. So what does that actually look like? What's going on here is pretty incredible. You're literally creating a mental blueprint for success. You find a quiet spot, you close your eyes, and you play a movie in your head where you're the star and you're nailing everything flawlessly. And that little detail about music, that's fascinating because it helps you dial in the exact emotional state you need, whether that's intense focus or pure explosive energy. And you can see just how many ways this can be used. For a dancer, it's all about syncing that mental movie with the actual music, so the connection becomes second nature. For a soccer player about to take a penalty kick, it's about shutting out the crowd by seeing that ball hit the back of the net before their foot even touches it. It's basically a pre-game ritual for perfection. And here's the real payoff. When you mentally walk through a performance, you make the unknown known, right? That sense of familiarity totally dials down the anxiety. Your brain feels like it's already practiced the skill, so your concentration is way sharper. And of course, when you've seen yourself succeed 100 times in your mind, your confidence just naturally skyrockets. All right, let's grab our second tool. And this is one you are already using every single day, whether you know it or not. It's all about taking control of that little voice inside your head, your self-talk. Look, we all have that internal monologue that's just always on. The trick is to stop being a passive listener and start being the director. So instead of letting your mind drift to doubt and negativity, you actively feed it simple, powerful, encouraging phrases. You're basically turning that inner critic into your own personal coach. Yeah, it's a classic, but it's a classic for a reason. It's simple, it's direct, and it is so powerful. But think about other phrases too, like stay calm right before a crucial moment, or strong finish when you feel that fatigue kicking in on a run. These are not just empty words, they're direct commands to your brain to stay on course. And the impact here is immediate. When you tell yourself to stay composed, you're literally hitting the brakes on that panic cycle. When you focus your inner voice on what to do right, you build confidence and you stop yourself from dwelling on mistakes. It's an absolutely incredible tool for managing those in-the-moment emotions, like frustration or nerves, that can just derail a performance. And for a final tool, we're talking about creating an anchor in the storm. That thing that keeps you grounded in a high-pressure situation. This is where we build rituals and routines that tell your mind and your body, okay, it's go time. This is all about creating consistency. It could be anything, really, from the specific way you tie your shoes to a little warm-up sequence. Honestly, the action itself is less important than the fact that you do it the same way every time. These routines become a comfort zone, a familiar pattern that tells your brain, hey, I've been here before, I know exactly what to do. This is a perfect example. Notice how it combines the physical and the mental. The deep breath calms your nervous system down. Bouncing the ball 3 times, not 2, not 4, is a consistent rhythm. That quick visualization, that's a mini mental rehearsal right there. And then you execute. Each step is a trigger for the next, creating this seamless, focused flow. So what's the big payoff? Well, it all comes down to automation and control. The routine cuts down on anxiety because it's a predictable path in a totally unpredictable environment. It acts like a switch, signaling to your brain that it's time to flip into performance mode, and that sharpens your focus. It just keeps your emotions on an even keel so you don't get too high or too low. So there you have it, our 3 core tools: mental rehearsal, positive self-talk, and solid routines. I want you to think of these as the essential gear for any mental challenge you're ever going to face. And this right here is the whole point.
We've been talking about athletes, sure, but these strategies are for everyone. They're for the surgeon in the operating room, the student taking a final exam, or anyone really who wants to be at their absolute best when the pressure is on.
So let's just quickly recap. Mental rehearsal, that's your blueprint for success. Positive self-talk, that's your coach in your corner. And your routines, they're your anchor for consistency and focus. Put them all together, and you've got a powerful system for winning the mind game. Okay, the most important step is the one you take next. You don't have to master all 3 of these at once. Just think about it. Which one of these tools really speaks to you right now? Which one could you start playing with today to take your performance, whatever that may be, to a whole new level?